Structure, Function, and Survival is a life science unit incorporating ideas about organism structures and behaviors that aid in survival. Let's look into the unit at a glance. This unit covers several fourth grade life and physical science standards about organism structures and information processing. Each of the next generation science standards correspond to a Missouri Learning Standard, listed in parentheses on this chart. There is one standard that is a Missouri Learning Standard only. Take a moment to pause the video and review them. In this unit, students try to figure out how animals are able to respond to their environment to meet their needs. The anchoring phenomenon used to connect students to the science content is an anchorman on live TV who gets scared, moves, and shouts when a bug flies around him. Why does he do that? How is he able to do that? How is the bug also responding? After each lesson, students will reflect to consider what they have learned that will help them figure out the answers to the questions they have about how animals sense and respond to their environment. The design challenge for this unit is a culminating activity in Lesson 9. Closely connected to the anchoring phenomenon of a human and bug interaction, students are tasked with designing an ideal habitat for an insect. They perform experiments with real mealworms or darkling beetles to see what type of environment they prefer. Then they use their science knowledge to design the perfect habitat for these insects. Now that we have an idea about what students will study in this unit, take a look at the unit flowchart. This unit is divided into 3 sections, and there are 9 lessons total. Section 1 asks students to consider how animals and plants are able to survive where they live. This section will take about 3 days. Here is the content level big idea for Section 1 and how students will figure it out. Students use animal adaptation cards, videos, readings, and discussions to figure out that plants and animals have structural and behavioral adaptations that allow them to get what they need to survive and reproduce. They will continue to apply this knowledge to the other sections of this unit. Section 2 asks students to dive deeper into organism structure and function to figure out how the internal and external structures of organisms are parts of a system that work together to help an organism survive, behave, grow, and reproduce. This section will take about 17 days. In Section 2, students use picture cards, readings, videos, and plastic animal models to classify external and internal structures of birds and other animals. This classification helps students see that these structures vary across organisms so that the organisms can grow and survive in their particular environments. They focus in on animal and plant behaviors, looking at videos, readings, and picture cards to figure out that behaviors help an organism survive and are caused by internal and external cues. Next, students use scent vials to explore how humans use sense of smell to perceive the world. They read and watch videos to figure out that sense structures can guide behaviors that aid in survival. Then they construct an argument on this topic. Finally, students use a mystery box model, animal eye images, and videos in order to figure out that organisms are able to see when light is reflected off of objects and into our eyes. Students connect back to the idea of adaptation and cite as an example of internal and external structures working together to support the survival and behavior of organisms. With this lesson, students will have the final piece of the puzzle that will help them figure out how the anchorman was able to sense and respond to the bug flying around him. Section 3 asks students to apply what they have learned in order to explore how specific animals are able to use their senses and structures to receive and respond to information in their environments. This section will take about 12 days. Students do a research project where they pick a structure or sense and 4 different animal classes in order to figure out that organ systems have similar functions yet different structures depending on the animal class. Student voice and choice is encouraged as they develop either electronic or paper presentations and give peer feedback on their work. Finally, students will use what they have learned about organism structure and function and apply it to a particular animal, mealworms or darkling beetles. They will design an experiment to see what kind of moisture levels, light levels, and food sources these insects prefer based on how they use their structures to sense and respond to these external cues. They will then use this scientific information during the engineering design challenge, where they will design the best habitat for the insect based on the results from their experiment. By the end of this unit, students will understand how organisms are able to use their internal and external structures in order to sense and respond to their environment in unique ways that allow for survival. For more information, please visit our website, myscipartners.com. mySci, inspiring the next generation of scientists.